Okay, we're back up, and I'm sure many of you are watching a commercial right now, but we will give it a moment to come back up, and I'll explain to you everything that you're seeing going on your screen. Hooking up some power cords here while I wait for the commercial to go out. Okay, good. We should be on live. Got power, got juice. I want to show you. It's still a work in progress. Here you see the marchers from the 1960s, Dr. Martin Luther King and company. In the middle, you see Mr. Freddie Gray. This is done by a local artist named Nether, well known for doing murals all over town, from wheat paste to paintings like this. And then here you see the 2015 Baltimore Uprising marches over here. So everyone's still with me on the stream at home. This is the very spot where it happened. I have not streamed from here in the daylight before. Done some nighttime streaming, but this is Freddie's Corner. This is a memorial to what happened to him. I'll take you to the first mural that went up, the small graffiti mural. We had the large one there, which shows the marchers and Freddie, and we'll take you to this one, which I showed you at night before, but you hadn't seen it in the daytime. This was the first one that went up a few days ago. Those candles were burning last night. Not sure how clearly they're coming out. But yeah, this is sadly, this is Gilmore Homes projects where everything happened. I'm gonna get in the vehicle and go to another area out here. Okay, let's roll. We still good? Connection, audio, video? So, bro. Oh. Well, you know how it is when you live stream, everybody. You have unexpected guests. Yeah. Hold on. Let me unplug this mic here. We got unexpected guests. That's beautiful. Mic is back. Okay, folks, this was unscripted, but like I said, we're always out in the street. We keep it real. And when you're going live, You got unexpected guests. How you doing, Mr. Moore?
What's going on, man? How you doing?
Good, good. Now look around his neck, folks. That is a nice looking camera with a good zoom on it. And I want to get a close up on the logo there, Cop Watch logo.
That's what we doing, baby.
I know each time I come on, we have some new guests. I mean, new viewers.
Yeah.
And some of you may not be familiar with who Kevin Moore is.
Man, look,
I know you're tired of saying it, but
I filmed the Freddie Gray video, man.
Folks,
if you don't know by now.
If you don't know by now, this is the gentleman, Mr. Kevin Moore, who, if it wasn't for him, none of us would have known what happened. And people here would have known because they all saw it, but the video getting out to the public and the lie that the police put out in the report, that would have been the official story.
Yeah.
Although we saw something very different. So you started to say something. I'm gonna let you talk because I'm in your neighborhood, man.
These guys, man, they really did my man dirty, man. That's why I felt like somebody had to record it. You know what I'm saying? As bad as I wanted to help them in other ways, you know what I'm saying? I figured the best way to help them was to record it, to get the word out. You know what I'm saying? I went down to internal affairs. I sat with them for X amount of time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I gave them my video, and then when I got back around to the neighborhood, man, I just started pumping it. I started pumping it to the news stations. And
now, I'm going to get your opinion on something, man.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people are focusing on different aspects of this, but me being from Baltimore,
Right.
having covered crime for years, I'm looking at some of the finer points that are being overlooked. For example, when Meach was supposedly shot or thought he was shot, but it wasn't.
Right.
Everybody's focusing on, well, see, he wasn't shot, but nobody's talking about the criminal crowd control that was done, spraying the mace indiscriminately into the crowd. Yeah. Everybody's overlooked that now. What are your thoughts on that? Because to me, it just goes to show the problems we have here. That okay, he wasn't shot. We know that part.
Right.
But what's the excuse?
There is none.
But see, nobody's talking about that. You just sprayed a bunch of mace into a crowd. There were children, innocent civilians standing in a public place at a bus stop where they have legitimate reason to stand.
I'm waiting for the bus.
You know, telling them to go home. Well, maybe
I'm trying to get home.
So people need to understand the absurdity of Baltimore police with that kind of nonsense.
That's why I have this camera here, man, because I'm basically walking around recording this shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, let's walk and talk.
You can't spray mace into the fucking crowd of civilians.
We saw it. I saw it myself.
And you got babies and all that shit out
there. They didn't care.
You know,
I mean, they really didn't. And that's an ongoing issue with Baltimore police.
That's why I'm on my Cop Watch thing. So I'm now trying to get this fundraiser started where I can get 200 body cameras to the civilians, man.
That's it, folks. We try. Oh, I don't need the light on. Hold on. I'm just gonna bring my battery down quicker. Take that off. And that's just it, folks. This man is trying to get 200 body cams out on people. If enough of us are wearing them, we're gonna catch them.
Oh yeah.
If enough of us are wearing them, it's gonna put them in check and say, hey, wait a minute, let's change it up a little bit. I just came from a homicide scene.
Okay.
I've been covering these things for years here in the city.
Yeah.
A lot of times I'm able to do my job. A lot of times I'm not. I get harassed and everything like that.
Absolutely.
Today, different attitude altogether.
Yeah.
Because they're on edge. They were very polite. Yeah. Talking to me, fly on the wall. After being polite, they acted like if, let's not even acknowledge them.
But you know what the power is?
These cameras.
See, they see these cameras and they're like, well, we have to uphold a certain image. So what we do is we're going to play the 50 for the cameras, you know what I'm saying? But when the camera's off, it's a whole nother different story. You know what I'm saying? They beat you. They treat you like shit, you know what I'm saying? But when they're in front of the camera, it's a whole nother story.
Now, how long have you lived in this community? Man?
Oh, man, I'm West Side bound, baby. I was born and raised in West Baltimore.
So you know the deal. That the world is just now finding out about how Baltimore police are. And how many of us, myself included, by the way, have sustained false charges where the stuff was just fabricated. No real evidence. They just make it up. And now you're stuck with this rap that you can't beat. And people should start to realize, wait a minute, we need to review a lot of this stuff because they have been caught in a lie.
Well, as you know, you might not know, but they locked me up for actually just filming the video. You know
I talked to the folks down in Florida. Photography is not a crime. Yeah. I'm real tight with them. Have been before this.
Absolutely.
And they told me about it. They said, hey, we interviewed him. The video went viral, and the next day you get locked up.
Yeah, man. So they gave me no charge papers, no fingerprint ran, no citations, no nothing. I sat down Western District for like maybe 2 hours, and then the captain of the district brought me back right here and dropped me off.
Incredible. The first day of heavy demonstrations. I'm talking about before any riots.
Yeah.
They locked me up in front of Western District. I was taking pictures of the crowd.
See?
Same thing. I sat in there for an hour or two. No charges. I got let go. But why? Why was our freedom?
Because we have cameras, dude. They don't like being filmed.
Why was our liberty deprived like that? Why were we put in handcuffs and snatched up? I mean,
but the thing that pisses me off, man, is that they're allowed to show. You see all these cameras they got posted up around these.
They're cameras that they tape us with all the time.
Absolutely. So we are not allowed to do the same thing.
Well, by the law we are, but they are afraid.
Exactly. So what they do is people are they don't understand. You know what I'm saying? So they fear it naturally. You know what I mean? And if they don't understand it and they fear it, then their natural reaction is aggression towards it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So they don't understand us. They don't know what we go through every day. They don't know that we out here struggling. We're survivalists, dude.
Just trying to make it.
Just trying to make it with the shit that they give us, which is not much.
There's not much. Life around here is hard enough as it is, and then on top of it, you have the constant pressure from the police.
Yeah, man.
I mean, on top of everything else. Look, people around here. Let's keep it real. People around here not making a lot of money.
Not at all. Not at all. That's why we live in fucking low income housing.
Live in low income housing, what a lot of you call housing projects.
Yeah.
And then the police come out here and put constant pressure on people.
Yep.
And they feel like, oh, they're doing their job.
Dude, it was literally seven or eight police walking through these courts here last night, and I followed them all around through the projects.
I talked to some of the young men out here, the high schoolers, the teenagers. And they don't feel comfortable walking around out here.
No, because they're man, they could be possibly be the next victim.
So that's terrorizing.
Yeah.
And that's what the police have done. They've terrorized this community to the point where even now, no one feels safe from them.
But they call some of us terrorists.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But we don't have a license to kill like they do, because they clearly do.
Yeah.
They do it with impunity.
See, but the thing is, they take these guys that are training these police officers. They are trained military personnel.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So their specialty is close quarters combat, hand-to-hand combat, and then you come out here and
engage the enemy.
You know what I'm saying? Engage the enemy.
Who's the enemy?
Obviously us. You know what I'm saying? And then they come out here and use these tactics on civilians that don't have a way to defend themselves, don't even know how to stop no shit like that.
Yeah.
It's the same tactics that they use over in Afghanistan, in war zones, third world countries.
It just so happened the color of those people's skin was brown. It's always
Isn't it ironic?
Black or brown skinned people. It really is. Study the most aggression that our country puts forth in other countries. It's always against a country where the people are black or brown.
And then they got this poll that says Caucasians are killed more than African Americans. Dude, that's bullshit.
Well, here's the thing. It doesn't reflect the percentages.
That's what I'm saying.
But by the way,
they have this unknown race. What is the unknown race? What do you think that is?
The folk at home are excited about the idea of body cameras and watching cops. Let's read some comments on the chat here.
Okay, sure.
Let's see here. Yeah, baby, body cams for the people. Pete Santilli show.
Okay.
And, folks, we're trying to raise money to get 200 body cams for the people out here so we can have some level of protection.
Yeah, man.
Some way of shooting back. We're shooting visuals. We're shooting images, but we have to do something because we're still at risk out here.
Oh, yeah, man.
Perhaps even more so now.
People fail to realize that we are in the middle of a war zone, dude. This is like the shit that we've been fighting our entire lives. You know what I'm saying? And they have these organizations, these operations in place to keep us oppressed. Food stamps and you know what I'm saying? SSI and all that shit. Dude, if you
it's really not helping us.
If you was to give us a job, we wouldn't need you anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but a lot of them want to think, well, we're doing good. We're helping out. We gave them food stamps.
Give us a job and we wouldn't need those food stamps. You know what I'm saying? We wouldn't need it. Look, America, the government has a need to be needed. You know what I'm saying? Like, they really want to be needed. And the way they do that is they make these social services programs and shit like that that keep us coming back. When they could just give us more jobs and we can, man, look, we are very prone to working. You know what I mean?
Well, obviously, we built this country.
You know what I'm saying? So
when nobody else wanted to do the work, they got free slave labor and literally built this country. And the thing a lot of people forget, there are corporations around now that was built on wealth that came from families generations back that profited immensely because they didn't have to pay for labor.
Absolutely.
And they were able to pass on this wealth, pass it on, start businesses, maintain businesses. But at the root of it, it came from free black slave labor in this country. Yeah. It's so easy to forget.
Man, they owe us so much, 40 acres and a mule. They can literally give us a whole nother planet. They owe us so much. You know what I'm saying? And I was talking to one of my Caucasian brothers last night, and he really dropped a jewel on me, man. Look, you guys built this country. You know what I'm saying? And if it wasn't for people standing up for your rights, Dr. Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, a whole lot of these guys, man, that died, and it seemed like they died in vain because we're still living in the poverty and the oppression that they were fighting, and they lost their lives for.
Well, here's what I often say.
Yeah.
And I wrote some great essays when I spent 6 months in central booking.
Okay.
over a whole bunch of bull. It's
Yeah,
that simple.
yeah.
I'll elaborate on it for those who don't know at another time.
Yeah.
If in 1865 President Lincoln freed the slaves, right?
Yeah.
Freedom. Why is it 100 years later, in 1965, we were singing "We Shall Overcome"?
Yeah.
I mean, wait a minute. 100 years later,
Yeah.
I thought the slaves were freed. And you hear sometimes from some
Yeah.
people, y'all should be, slavery was abolished a long time ago. But look at that arc.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was abolished, but 100 years later, we're singing "We Shall Overcome."
Because the segregation hasn't gone anywhere.
Way years later, we had the Rodney King beatings 23 years ago.
Yeah.
I mean, and we could keep going on and on and on and show you that from the time of this emancipation up till now, there's been continuous brutality,
Yeah.
terrorism,
Yeah.
the church bombings back in the day. I mean, we haven't had any freedom. Yeah, I want to go back to the mural because we got a bigger audience now. When I first stepped out, I was narrating the mural, but we're gonna talk about it some more because it is absolutely beautiful.
It's very intelligent what the guy did.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you have Martin Luther King and his people on one side. You know what I'm saying? And we're trying to practice what these guys are preaching.
This is what I was talking about.
We still have things like Freddie Gray happening.
And I like the order. I like the order. Nelson's a genius. I've known this guy for a long time.
Yeah.
Look, you have the civil rights marchers from the 60s. Yep. We shall overcome.
Yep.
There's Dr. King in the middle. Yep. And now this is a work in progress. I got to remind you, it's a work in progress.
Absolutely.
It's going to be filled in. Now in the middle, we have Freddie. So we went from marching in the streets, peacefully demonstrating, and you see where it got us.
Yeah.
We're no better off than we were then because we still have Freddie Grays, Walter Scotts, Eric Harris, on and on and on and on. Brown, it's such a long list. I can't even remember it anymore. I have to sit at a computer and pull it up. A young lady started writing the names of people killed by police.
Well, Freddie was just number 100
at Penn Station.
Yeah.
And she started going backwards. She made it all the way to the Washington Monument, over a mile away on the sidewalk. That's how many names there were. And this was just starting, I think, 2 years ago. She didn't even go. I mean, it's just a whole list of names. I saw some pictures of it. Yeah. We're going to go down there and check it out, see if it's still there. She wrote in chalk. It hasn't rained yet.
Yeah.
Chances are a lot of it's still there. But over a mile long, literally over a mile long list. And people think it's a joke.
Terrible, man. But
then here we are, 2015.
Yep.
2015.
This is us. You know what I'm saying? Still trying to band together, still trying to do the Martin Luther King, the peaceful protesting thing, but it just doesn't seem to work, dude. It doesn't seem to work. You know what I'm saying? And I know that the riots and shit like that is not the answer, but we don't have any answers. You know what I'm saying? We're basically going off of what we have. Like I said, which is not much. And these police are, they still taking away from the little bit of shit that we have.
Yeah, absolutely. There it is. 2015, basically 50 years later, 50 years later, after MLK tried to set us free, which was 100 years after Lincoln tried to set us free, we're still not free. I don't feel free. Do you feel free?
Not at all.
Okay, so we're walking around, like Bob Marley said, no chains around my feet, but I'm not free.
Yeah, I'm not.
That's what he said. Listen, there's all kinds of ways to enslave a people, and let's keep it real. These housing projects are part of it. They're part of it. And people are going to start to say things about, well, we should do this or that. No, let's go back to where it started.
Right.
How did black people get in this country? They were captured and kidnapped.
Yeah.
They came here. They
built us on ships and just sent us on the way.
And we built this country.
Yeah.
Literally.
Ground zero, dude.
Literally.
From nothing.
Off of our backs. Yeah. And then it was just set loose. Here you go. Go free.
Yeah.
Go help yourself out. You'll be all right.
What about all of the work that we
pick
did?
yourself up by your bootstraps.
Yeah. And then they promise us, they make a whole bunch. And see, that's another thing, man. They make a whole lot of empty promises. You know what I'm saying? These guys, they tell you what you want to hear. You know what I'm saying? So you'll shut the fuck up. You know, that's basically what they do. They tell you what you want to hear, so you'll be quiet, you'll leave it alone. But see, that's where they're getting it mixed up. Because now people are getting sick and tired of being sick and tired. You know what I'm saying? And that goes back to me cop watching and trying to get these cameras out here.
Let's go down to the Western District. You got a couple minutes?
Actually, I don't, because I'm on the clock right now. I saw you. I'm at work.
I'm sorry.
So I saw you.
Well,
I had to come over to talk to you, man.
All right, because that's where I'm going to go next, just to continue narrating. My fault, man. I didn't.
No, absolutely.
You're at work,
I saw you,
but now
talk to you.
You're working, now you're live.
Yeah.
I hope your boss is not watching.
Oh, no, my boss is cool, man. He's great. He's behind me 100%
well, look,
on what
Kevin,
I'm doing.
man, I appreciate your time, but more so than your time right now,
the
bigger picture, the continued effort that you're putting in this community to try to help this community, to try to help all of us out here, because the government is supposed to be for us.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be by us.
Yeah.
It's not supposed to be against us
At all.
Police are an extension of the government.
Yeah.
And anybody in West Baltimore and Baltimore knows the police have been against us for decades.
If I could say one thing to
Go ahead.
man, if I could say one thing, I would recommend you get a camera cell phone camera, video, any kind of camcorder.
More than one if you can.
Absolutely. Let them see that you have these cameras on your person. You know what I'm saying?
Mine,
yeah.
And we got other ones.
That scares them away. You know what I'm saying? That deters them from coming to mess with you, and they have no probable cause. You know what I'm saying? So what you do is you get you a camera and you walk around your community, and you don't be afraid of these people because you have rights to film these guys. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people in Baltimore, we've been cop watching. We just haven't been using cameras. You know what I'm saying? So, man, if I could just say one thing to the public, man, get you a camera. It can be
It can be cheaper.
You know what I'm saying? I know it's fucked up out here. We can't afford it. But
get started with whatever you can get your hands on.
Yeah.
You can always upgrade down the road, but just get one now. You start out with something.
And to keep these guys on their toes, dude. You know what I'm saying? And look, man, we have things here. We give out books to kids. And, man, I mean, we have to do this from our own pockets. We go buy books on a wholesale and come out and give them to the kids, school supplies and shit like that. Because the people that's supposed to do it, they don't do it. You know what I mean? This is another way that they keep us down. You know what I'm saying? And now they're talking about trying to charge us for public schooling now? Really? What are you teaching in public schooling that you think that you have to charge us for?
In this city?
Yeah.
Look, they still have lead in the water in the schools.
Yeah.
They still can't drink out of the water fountains. Now, how long has it been like that we can't get proper drinking water in the schools?
Over 20 years.
You know what's funny? A reporter, I just published this, I'm going to let you go.
Yeah, absolutely.
He talks about spending 49 hours in jail.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Because he was out here photographing at Mondawmin Mall when it first broke out. I was there.
Yeah.
They snatched him up.
For 49 hours.
And you know what? It's beautiful because he gave a detailed description of the atrocious conditions in there that we know about. I've written about, I've published about. Well, now it went out to the UK Guardian. It's going out to the world. Just how atrocious it is in there. When you have cells that were meant for 2 or 3 people with 6, 7, 8, 9 in the holding cells and all that crap. So.
And then you have the toilet,
right
which
there.
is absolutely disgusting.
Right in the open.
Right in the open. You know what I'm saying? And some people lay right next to the toilet.
They almost don't have a choice.
We don't have a choice.
You're tired, your feet hurting. There's no place to lay down, sit down. And they keep you in these holding cells for hours and hours and hours.
They take it to the max because legally they're able to hold you for 16 hours before they either have to charge you or take you to
Well, during this situation, the governor suspended the rules.
Okay.
Now, he has no authority to do it, but he did it.
Okay.
And they were holding people up to 48 hours.
Oh, wow.
And they did. And many of them got released, no charges. That's just a torture.
But what
That's a torture session.
Nobody sees this as wrong. Nobody sees this as
a lot of people see it.
What are they going to do about it? As far as the government, what you see this happen. That's why I say another thing. Look, man, Marilyn Mosby for mayor. That's what we need to do. We need to get Joe Crystal back out here, the guy who told on other people, on his fellow officers. You know what I'm saying? For beating a man. You know what I mean? And they shunned him from the police station. He's scared to come out of his house. They throwing dead rats on his cars. You know what I'm saying? So
at his house.
At his house, dog. You know what I mean?
That's gangster. That's true.
True, show enough.
Like
more. How much more intimidation can you get?
Throwing a dead animal on somebody's car at their house. We know where you live, and this is what's gonna happen.
And a dead rat, nonetheless.
That they gutted.
Yeah.
It wasn't just dead. They gutted.
They gutted it and then threw it at his house, man. We need Joe Crystal back, and we want Marilyn Mosby for mayor.
Hey, thanks a lot, Kevin.
Absolutely, man. It's always
Kevin Moore,
absolutely.
And, me and this man are coming closer and closer.
Oh, yeah, man.
And this untimely death of Freddie Gray is causing things that's never happened before.
But you know what? This is just the beginning, bro.
It is.
This is just the beginning. And remember, public, remember, world, I'm out here for you guys, man. I'm out here watching these police for you to make sure that these police abide by the law and the oath that they swore to. So anytime that you feel like your rights are being violated, dog, tell somebody to record it and to film it, and I'll step up and we can go through the problems together.
There you have it. Thanks a lot, bro.
Absolutely, man. Nothing but love, baby. Yeah, peace and love.
Okay, gonna make our way back up to the vehicle, and we're gonna head down to the Western District Station. I'm okay with saying that. I don't normally put out in advance where the next location is, but we're so close, and anybody want to try something stupid and make false reports to the police department, whatever. Everyone knows my intentions out here. As you see, the community knows what I'm doing out here. People are waving at me off camera. You can't see them, smiling, thumbs up. So, it's clear that we're just out here trying to tell a story and put this up. See, the work in progress is about to start working again. How you doing? We were just live streaming the mural and telling everybody what's up and where it's at. And it's about to continue, folks. So we'll be coming back here and showing everybody the progression. Thanks. So he said that was good work that we've been doing live streaming, and he recognized me and he's seen what we've been doing. That's the mural, and that was the artist. He was walking and talking to someone, so we didn't interrupt him with the interview. Hang on, folks. Let's stick around a few more minutes. Let's go down to the Western District Police Station. You never know when I do these live streams out on the street now, which is a new thing to me, who we're gonna bump into. Like we just ran into Mr. Kevin Moore, and he walked up to me, and we had a very insightful, I believe, very insightful, educational, intelligent conversation. The type of thing that many people who stereotype would tell you you're not going to find here in these housing projects. A lot of people have these stereotypes about the people who live in a place like Gilmore Homes. But if you listen carefully to Mr. Moore's commentary, I think for some of you, your eyes may have been opened, particularly at the part where he talked about we don't want to be on welfare. We don't want to be in this housing. We would love to work, but there are no jobs here for us. And there aren't. You have to look at the unemployment rates in Baltimore if you want to understand what Mr. Moore was talking about. So we're going to take a little ride down to the police station where the thugs in blue uniforms responsible for all of this mess, taking out Freddie Gray, killing him out here in the streets, where they operate out of. They're all 6 are released on bail already. They're free. Most people who are involved in the death of someone do not receive bail. People who are involved in nonviolent misdemeanors in Baltimore typically aren't given bail. So the system is giving these men, these officers, men and one woman, preferential treatment. Preferential treatment. Let me catch up on some of what you're saying here. Let me scan some of the chat comments. Wow, quite a conversation going in there. I'm just skimming. Hey, Pete Santilli show had over 1 million views for Baltimore. Yeah, there was a lot of going on. A lot of people, the world was watching, and those of us who were doing the live streaming, people dug into it. And we thank Pete Santilli and his crew for the time, feet on the street out here in Baltimore, helping us to tell the world this story. What is going on here in Baltimore is shameful and disgusting to happen in these United States. I can't make it any more plainer for you. It's shameful that these conditions have been allowed to persist so long. Honestly, I don't have high hopes that the Attorney General's visit yesterday is going to mean anything. I don't think it's going to accomplish anything. Nothing going on here is new. And, I just don't have high hopes. I don't. So we're going to cruise down to the police station. It's just about a mile south of here. Not even that much, I don't think. I'm just trying to get some driving music up. And thank you, Pete, for the retweet. The tweet of the link. I see that. Out there helping us out, get the word out. We have the at-home social media truth warriors. And we're all on the same team. Looks like my music doesn't want to cooperate.